I learned all of Claude Cowork for you, and I mean all of it. And I am about to hand you the whole thing in less than 20 minutes. Here is what you are about to walk out of here with today. An AI that opens your own files and tells you what is in them, an AI that reads your inbox and tells you what actually needs you, and an AI that wakes up before you do, checks your day, and has a brief waiting for you, running by itself every morning without you actually asking it. And you do not need to know how to code, and I'm talking about not one line of it. So I am going to take you through 3 levels. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. By level 2, you are going to be further along than most people who have been paying for AI all this year. And if you stay to the very end, I have a bonus that puts you in the top 1% of everybody else that's using this. Okay, so with that being said, let's freaking go. Now, if you do not know who I am not your typical tech voice. Over 20 years in business, over 10 million in career sales, featured in Forbes as an AI business strategist, more than 10,000 hours inside these tools. I am literally obsessed, okay? And I do not have a technical background. I have never studied computer science. I came up in sales. I learned all of this in public the hard way, on purpose, so that everyday people could watch me do it and know that it is possible for them. It doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter what age you are. I am here to declare that this AI run is dedicated for you, my friend. Okay? So I'm a woman that doesn't like to waste time. So let's get into it. So let me tell you what Cowork is, because the name does not help us at all. Okay? You already know the chatbot. Okay? So you type, it answers, it lives in a box on a website. Cowork is not that, okay? Cowork lives on your computer. It opens your files, it reads your email, it builds things and saves them where you can find them. It does not talk about the work, it actually starts to do the work, which is quite different. And here is the one idea I need you to hold for the next 20 minutes. Think about AI like a genius who just walked in off the street. Brilliant. And it knows absolutely nothing about you. Nothing about your business, nothing about your career, nothing about your clients, nothing about how you like things done, okay? So everything I am about to show you is the same move done bigger each time. You are handing that genius your file. Level 1 is you hand it your files, okay? Level 2, you hand it your tools. You start to connect the dots with tools and platforms that you like to use. And level 3, you hand it your standing orders. That is the whole video. So with that being said, come with me, let's go. The very first thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna make sure that you have downloaded Claude Cowork and installed it on your actual desktop. And all you gotta do is literally just go into ChatGPT, any tool that you use, even Google, and just type in download Cowork. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come to a screen that looks like this. And then you're gonna wanna download right here, click here to download this onto your desktop. To be honest, it takes about 2 minutes, and this is the very first step in actually leveling up to level 3, is right here, just to download it on your desktop, okay? And what's gonna happen is once you have downloaded it, you're gonna come to a screen that looks like this. So once it's open, you're gonna see a few tabs, and you're gonna see one of them that's like really just says chat. It's just the regular chat that you probably already know, you've already been using. And then we wanna look at Cowork, which is this one right here. When you click on it, it's going to highlight and say Cowork. And that is the one that does things. That is the one that actually does the work versus chat. And that's what we're going to be sitting in today and actually going through together, me and you. Okay. So at this point, you have a couple of options. You can literally keep watching me on your big TV. Hello, which I love. Or you could go grab your laptop right now and join me on your laptop and build with me, okay? Remember that you have the ability to pause, slow this video down, make it go faster. The controls are in your hands, okay? So before we touch anything else, I need you to do one quick thing is you're gonna wanna go into your settings, right? So if I click over here, I'm gonna click on settings, And then once you're in settings, it is very important. This place right here, the general profile right here, is where you're going to actually want to spend a little bit of time. Okay. That is the place where you tell it about you. Tell it what you're up to, where you are, what you do, how you like things done, and what you want to actually achieve, right? Do not skip this, my friends. This right here is the most important place out of the whole experience with getting to level 3, right? And a lot of people don't realize that it takes time to set things up. And I want to just pause right here and just really double down on this point, is that I want you to think about you owning a business, right? Or maybe you are an employee. The very first thing that you do is when you get to a job, they train you, right? And if you own a company, the very first thing that happens is you train the employee, right? Then you hire. It's the very first thing that I want you to have a mind shift on, is that when you're dealing with these tools, it is so brilliant. It is like PhD level knowledge, but it comes down to like, how do you take that brilliance that it has and connect it to what you're up to? And that's right here, is this spot right here under general. Okay. So you can fill out your full name. What do you want Claude to call you? You know, you can have a nickname, you can make up a name. I put Edwina. And then under that, you can say what best describes your work. As you can see, I'd leave it blank. It's not something that you have to fill out. If you want to, go all out, fill it out, okay? But I do want to just double down on this point, is that you don't need to like click off everything. The main important feature right here is instructions for Claude. And as you can see, mine is pretty lengthy, okay? Let me know in the comments if you would benefit from me actually showing you how to create a really well balanced instructions for Claude. But either here nor there, I just really want to double down that this is where you're handing the genius of your first file is right here. So whatever you put in here applies to every single thing that you ever ask it for forever. And the beauty of it is that you can always change things. You can always come back and make changes anytime you're changing jobs, you're changing a business, anything, and you want maybe a different tone, you would come back right here and you would be able to make those changes. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this and I'm just going to go back into Cowork, which we're at right here. So I'm going to come back to Cowork, and this is where all the work and the magic happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to level 1 right now. You are going to give it your work and ask it a question you cannot answer yourself. Okay. So the very first thing is that I am going to point it at a document, right? I can point it at anything I want that's living on my computer. You can point it at a document, a statement, a report, a folder, a file, anything, right? So for an example, I'm just going to come right here and I'm going to select my document, my downloads, right? I'm going to say, and here's really tricky, you know, for me, I'm just going to say always allow, and I'm just going to go through, bypass that really quick. And in the description, I'll have a document that will go through security and privacy and all that good stuff. I use Claude quite a bit for my business, and it has become my operating system, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point it, like I showed you guys, to my documents, right? And the very first thing here is we are in level 1. Remember that we're no longer asking a question, or we're saying, could you summarize this? But now we're actually going to get to level 1 where we wanted to, and I came up with a prompt. As you can see, it says, read all of these, find the pattern, build me something I can actually look at, and then tell me what I should be worried about. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to point it at my own YouTube channel right here. I'm going to just share with you guys just behind the scenes of kind of what I do with my YouTube and how I've been able to find success. So I'm just going to put it right here, my YouTube video. And I'm going to click on, and just really quick, I'm going to pause right here because I always get questions about the model. The beauty of it is that I'm on the max plan, so I kind of just run up all the credits every month. But you don't have to be on the max plan. Take your time with it. Choose a model like Opus 5. Sonnet is also really, really good too. And for something like this, I'm just going to use Opus 5. And then in regards to effort, I love using extra. I mean, we have access to the cutting edge technology. So I'm going to definitely take advantage of as much information as possible. Okay, so, and as much technology as possible. So as you can see, it's saying I'll start by reading everything, project docs, the connected folder, and your YouTube channel, then find the pattern. So remember, originally I gave it access to my downloads, and my downloads has a lot of information there for me. And then what it's now doing is I'm pointing it to my YouTube channel to show me the patterns that I may not see. So while this is running, I want you to notice what did not happen, right? I did not upload anything. Did you notice that? The only thing I did was I just placed a little bit of a link for my YouTube channel, which to be honest, it already has, but I want to make sure that it has the correct YouTube channel. There is no drag and drop. There was no attach button. There was no me frantically looking for a document. There was no, you have reached your file limit. The chat bot makes you pass it one file at a time, right? Like notes that you're kind of slipping underneath the door. That's it. And this one has the key to unlock a lot of things right now, because we're moving from I feel like we're moving from an entire drag and drop generation, where now the tool, which is Claude that we're leveraging, has the ability now to be able to connect to your files automatically and find it. Okay, so I want you to listen to this. This is where people my age and older tune out, and I need you to not do that right now. Okay, you have 20 years of documents probably sitting on your computer, my friend. 20 years of contracts, reports, statements, proposals, notes, pictures, like so much information, right? You have been sitting on the single most valuable thing you can hand this machine. And in what you're looking at it, you're probably like thinking it's clutter, but that is not clutter. This is context, okay? Somebody who graduated last year does not have this. You do, okay? They cannot buy it. They cannot download it. You are the one walking in with the file, connecting it to Claude. And I'll be honest, like this is like next level. So just think about it. Like you are at a perfect time. And a lot of people that are using these tools don't have the judgment that you have. You know, if you're over the age of 45, you know, nobody has that taste that you've been able to refine over time, right? So this is perfect. So like, just think about your computer right now and all these files that you've had just saving and storing for many years. This is what, we can connect Claude to. Okay. So as you can see, what it's done is it's actually built a dashboard for me. It doesn't have all the information. It kind of fudged a couple of things just to show you guys really quick what it could do. So it can gain access to your whole database and then your YouTube channel, your Instagram. Like if you're somebody that doesn't do social media, just start thinking, like envisioning what it can actually do for you. It can create a dashboard that allows you to be able to connect what is on your computer and then what is on your social media, what is on your client files, just things like that. So I just wanted to show you guys this. Obviously, some of this information is a little bit fudged. I just kind of wanted to push it through so you guys could see, but it can build a whole dashboard. It analyzed actually all my videos. And here, let me just throw this to the side, but it analyzed all my videos. And you know what's something that's so crazy? Let me know in the comment section. I just found out through this dashboard, I have 63% of male viewers to my channel that are over the age of 45. I'm a data girl. I love looking at data and analytics. So that was actually pretty cool to see through this dashboard. I have a couple other dashboards that I've created, but it was just pretty cool. If that is you right now and you're watching on the big screen, I want you to do me a favor. Just say, Edwina, you're right. Okay. And then if I see that, then I know that this part in the video, you made it up until this point. So with that being said, let's get to the next one, because level 1 is, again, you just handed it your files, and now I need to bring you to level 2. So with that being said, let's go. Okay, my friends, it is time to move to level 2. And I want you to just hear me out for a couple of seconds, because level 2, your files is one thing, but most of your working life is not in a folder. It is either in an inbox, it is in a calendar, it is in your drive. And these are connectors. This is how you plug it in to everything you already use. So that's what I'm going to show you: your email, your calendar, your files in the cloud, a long list of others. I want you to just like watch me here for a second. So I'm going to go here to customize, and let me just move my big head out of the way. And then I'm going to click on connectors. Okay. Under connectors, this is where you could literally connect any tool that you use on a daily basis. Okay. So for me personally, one of the biggest things that I connected was my Gmail, because that's how I connect with my clients. I connect with my team. So I just want you to think about, like, do you use Slack? Do you use Google Drive? This is where you actually connect and you bring yourself to level 2, because I want you to listen to this. Like, when you connect these tools, it just brings things up to the next level. Okay. So right now I have my Gmail already connected, and you can work through this with me, right? And before you actually connect it, I just want to hold this really quick about the permission, because when you connect it, you're going to see a permission box, pop up, right? So please read that before you click, and I mean it. It tells you exactly what it can and cannot touch, and you are in charge of every single one of these things, okay, that you're connecting. So you can turn them on, and you can also turn them off if you start to feel a bit uncomfortable. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just telling you this is the stuff that you can do, and it's up to you to take charge of the permission you give it versus what you don't. So mine is already connected to Gmail. I'm going to leave it as that. You can literally search through hundreds of tools and it can connect. I'm going to exit out of here, and then I'm going to go back into my Cowork session, and I'm going to show you guys just really quick here. I came up with this really, quick prompt. It says, go through my inbox for the last 3 days. Tell me what actually needs me and what is just noise. Okay. So I'm going to click on go. And because it is connected to my Gmail, what it's going to do, it is going to read my emails right now. And that was a prompt that I gave it. So right now, what is happening is that it is going through my email inbox. Okay. So just really quick, before this, you were the connector. You physically sat there, you opened the email, you copied the text, you pasted it into the chatbot, you read the answer, you go back to the email. You were the wire between these two machines, right? And that's why I love Claude. And I always say Claude is like my operating system, because it is, right? That is not your job anymore to do that, right? Once you go through this step, like once you connect it, that is what a job looks like when you give it to Cowork, right? You don't become the wire anymore. You don't become the connector anymore. You don't become the bottleneck anymore, right? You are giving one strict order, and then it follows it, and you can get Cowork to actually look at the emails and even respond. Because remember in the beginning, I showed you level 1, and even before that, I showed you the settings, right? Where you're telling Cowork and Claude how to sound like you, right? And what you like, what you don't like. And the beauty of it is that it can start to write your emails, and it gets to a point where you can control it. It doesn't send it automatically for you. And again, you can take charge of all of these steps, right? You can tell it to send it out automatically for you once you've approved it. You can have it create a draft. You could, tell it to keep it in the draft, or you can schedule it out. It's totally up to you. So as you can see really quick here, and I kind of blurred out a couple of names just for security purposes here. But like one of the biggest things is it removes all of the noise, and it allows me to, have a look. So look at the noise here. This is what I could show you. It says noise, roughly 60 of the 90 threads clusters, AI tool, sponsorship, spam, about 20 threads from 18 senders. Yeah. One of the biggest things in my inbox that's super annoying is the AI tool sponsorship spam that I get all the time, but I do have an AI agent that just automatically deletes it after a couple of days. So I just wanted to show you guys the level 2 of the ability that you could do, right? So one more thing before we graduate and go to level 3 is there's something called skills. And a skill is you teaching it your way of doing one thing, okay? And it does it one time and it never forgets. It's not a prompt that you retype. I just want to make that super clear. It's not a document that you go digging for. It's like a skill that you set it once and forever, right? I have skills for how I write. I have skills for how I look at documents. I have skills for how a report gets laid out. I never have to re-explain myself over and over again, okay? So if there's a certain thing that you like doing all the time, you can create it into a skill, and you can honestly just do the work, like do it with Cowork. And an easy way that's really worked for me is just telling Claude, you know, hey, Cowork, or whatever you want to call your new bestie, is I want you to create this into a skill, this whole process that you just did, right? So for me, like every morning, it can check my inbox and then it can tell me what is noise and tell me what things that I really need to look at and respond to, okay? Here's a pop quiz really quick. Right now in the comments, tell me the one thing you explain over and over again in your work, in your business, in your job. And that is going to be your first skill, my friends. Just think about like, what is something that you do on a daily basis that you really need support with, right? And that is going to be your first skill. And I read all of these. You may not see me respond to every single comment, but I do read all my comments underneath my videos, right? So I want to see what you come up with. Let me know. And that is level 2, my friends. You just handed it your tools, you connected it. So congratulations, you are officially further along than most people who have been paying for AI all year. Okay? Be for real. Diabolical. This just took like 10 minutes. Let's go to level 3. I'll see you over there. Quick pause because I want to invite you to something real quick. This Sunday, I am hosting a free workshop. All you got to do is click the link in my bio. This is the very first link that you'll see. Go register. It is 100% free. And here's why I want you there. A video goes one way, right? I talk, you watch, and then you are still sitting at your desk or you're sitting in front of your TV on Monday wondering what to actually put in the folder. And I want to train you properly. I want to answer your questions. I want to hear where you are stuck, because this is never where you actually really think you are stuck. Listen, the link is in the bio, the first link, Sunday. And while you're there, and I'm going to just like pause right here, please go subscribe and like and comment my video, because you have no idea what it does. It actually pushes it out to more people, because I want to train and educate more people on AI that look just like you. So please go like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world to me. And I will see you level 3. Let's go. Level 3. And I am going to tell you right now, if you thought that the last part was good, this is the one that changes how your whole week feels, because everything we just did was just like one task at a time. You ask, it does it, it forgets, and you have to redo it. A project, my friends, is different. A project is a room on Claude Cowork that actually remembers. And I'm going to build one right in front of you, okay? And I will give it a folder. I give it instructions that only apply inside this room, okay? So watch right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. So we're back at Cowork right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a project. Very simple, my friends. We're going to make sure that we're on Cowork, and then we're going to click on projects. I'm going to click on new, and I'm going to build this right now with you, okay? So watch this, and I'm just going to name it YouTube family, which is you, right? What are you trying to achieve? You can literally describe whatever your project, what your goals are, what your subject is. To be honest, it's not something that you have to do. I encourage it, but it's not something that you have to do. Most of my projects are blank and it still works. And use a folder. This is where you can connect a folder that is living on your desktop, your computer, and it connects to all those files, okay? I'm gonna click on create project, and this is the beauty of projects, right? Because projects allows you to, work in an entity where you don't have to keep re-explaining yourself over and over again, okay? So the biggest thing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just type something out really quick, and I'm going to go through a couple of instructions here. Just follow me here. Instructions is very, very important. If I click on the plus sign, this is where you're actually giving it all of the steps here. So I came up with this prompt. Screenshot it right now, please. Just write it down. I'm not, or if you want, I can leave it in the comment section for you guys, but it says, you are my blank role. So you're going to give it a role. You're going to tell it what to do, what this whole chat is about. You're going to be direct, push back on me when something does not add up, and double check every number. Okay. The thing with these tools is sometimes it likes to hallucinate, but if you actually have set project instructions, it actually reads it every time before it actually answers it. Okay. So just wanted to be super clear. And to be frank, nobody writes in this project instructions. Some people don't even know about projects, and this is a safe place, my friends. I wanted to show you this because it's really, really critical. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save instructions, and right here, my friends, where it says contacts, this is where you can actually upload as much documents as possible. So if I click on the plus sign, you can actually upload as much documents, that you want it to work within that project. For me, I love projects because I have so much clients, I have a lot of students, and I will create separate project folders for my particular students, my clients, anything that I'm going through, my book club. My gosh, I have projects for literally everything on my actual Claude operating system. Okay, so remember that the project file is super important because now you can work in a space where you're not consistently repeating yourself. It has access to a specific folder, contacts, documents, instructions, memories turned on. Okay. And the biggest thing, like I'm just going to go back to the instructions, is you want to make sure that you're telling Claude Cowork, or whatever you call it, bestie, I call mine Ace, to push back on me when something does not add up. And that instructions you can create on your own. But here's a huge gem, is that you can create it. You can get Claude to create it. That's a huge gem. Like you can tell it exactly what you're trying to do. And then you say to it, here's the prompt, the prompt is really just you communicating. But here's what you say is that, I really want you to put this together where it can be put into instructions. And you're highlighting your role, you're highlighting the goal, you're being direct with me, you're pushing back at you, organize it in a way that you could really connect with it and look for things that I was forgetting, right? And those are all things that you could tell Claude Cowork to do for you, where it could create the instructions versus you sitting there and typing it out, or using Whisper Flow, the tool that I love to use where I don't have to text, okay? So I want you to look at this right now, because in the project section is going to be level 3, where you start working in a project. And one thing that I wanted to say while I'm here is this whole push back on me. Almost nobody writes that. And then they complain that AI just agrees with everything they say. Of course, AI is going to agree with you and everything you say because you never told it not to, right? You hired a yes man, and then you got upset that he's a yes man. I just had to put that there. That's diabolical, okay? And this is a safe place. If you didn't know that, now you know, right? Is that Claude and ChatGPT and all these tools are built to be a yes man. And the only way for you to configure it to not be a yes man is to tell it not to be a yes man. So now everything that happens in the project knows all of that every time without me saying it again and again and again. It locks in. And here's where it gets serious, right? Every morning at 7, you can literally tell it, check my calendar, check my inbox, give me a brief of my day and anything I need to handle, and you can schedule it, right? Do you understand what just happened? That runs without me. I do not open anything. I do not ask it for anything. I do not remember to do it. 7 a.m., whether I wake up or not, right? On time. And I want to say something to the person watching this who is 45, 55, 60, 71. Everybody has spent 2 years telling you that AI is coming for your job. Look at what is on the screen. This is not your replacement. This is going to be your first employee. This is going to be your first confidant. And you just hired them in 20 minutes at a kitchen table on the big screen watching me with no interview, no payroll, okay? That is what shows up every morning. This is level 3. That's level 3 right here, right? You just handed it your standing orders. And at this point, you are an advanced Cowork user right now. And I'm not trying to be nice to you. This is true. Okay, this is true. Welcome to the advanced layer. I want you guys to play around with this. If you have any questions, let me know. We went through level 1, level 2, level 3. And I just want to make sure that you guys are good. We have the foundation set. This is probably like part 1 of part 5, but at least we're at level 3 now, okay? Say congratulations, get your laptop, let's start building something together. Play around with it, don't be afraid. You got this. I told you if you stayed to the end, I had something special for you, and here it is, okay? Come closer. Everything we did today was you handing it something. Your files, your tools, your orders. There is one more thing you can hand it, and almost nobody does this. Your standards. Not what to do, but how good it has to be before it comes back to you. So I have created instructions that say what finished work looks like for me, what I will accept, and what gets sent back before I ever lay my eyes on it. And that's the difference between somebody who has judgment and taste from somebody who has a team that they don't know how to manage. Anybody can tell it what to do, but almost nobody tells it how good it has to be. And that is the top percent. So the beauty of it is that I want you to just lock in with me and think about your taste. What is good for you, right? What does good look like? And that's the thing people miss with AI, is that AI could do everything you tell it to do, but always push back and teach it and train it, just like how you would train like a new employee, right? You want to train it on your taste. And that is the difference between how everybody else uses it and how you're about to use it. So if you made it this far, I want to talk to you directly, because most people click off around the 12-minute mark here, and you did not. And that tells me something about who you are and your character. So I am not going to do what everybody else on YouTube does. I am not going to tell you to take your time and get into it and get ready when you're ready. I'm going to tell you the truth. Somebody in your exact role with half your experience is running this right now, okay? They are not smarter than you, my friend. They just opened it and started, and that is the entire gap. This is all that it has ever been, is that they just started. So here is what I need from you today. Not tomorrow, I mean today, okay? Download it, point it to one folder, ask it one real question about what you actually do in your work, and that is it. 10 minutes of doing beats 10 hours of watching me every single time, right? And then come join me on Sunday. The link is in the bio, the very first link, and I offer a free workshop this Sunday. I want to see you in that room. I want to see your name. Run, don't walk, okay? It's going to be diabolical for you to get to this far and not lock in with me this Sunday. So with that being said, let's freaking go. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.